everyone, welcome to the Journey into Our Imagination podcast. I am your host, Kay, and this is the first time I'm doing this on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see my face right now. Hello. And if you are listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, I believe it's been a long time, and Apple Podcast, you can also check me out on YouTube, Journey into Our Imagination. And I cannot wait to get in today's episode as I am winging it for the first time. Yes, I am winging it. So I've never done this before. I've never winged it per se. I've always had a schedule, or at least had known what I was going to do or what I was going to say. But I have a lot to talk about. So let's get straight on into it. Okay, hi. It's been a bit. I haven't posted on my YouTube in a long time, and let alone the podcast. The last thing I posted on the YouTube was a podcast episode. We can see where that's going. I've been very busy. Personal life kind of got in the way. So I really just have been on my own, trying to just mentally find time. Because earlier this week I had SATs, then I had a play practice, then I had a graduation assessment. First time ever. So I was fun, school is really just picking up things for the juniors. Luckily, I finished my graduation assessment. This was the last day of it. Hopefully I did well. I better have done well, but besides that, everything's been going quite swell. I've had worse things happen in my life. Very much. So yeah. I haven't done a podcast episode, so I kind of forgot what we did here. But, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the Star Cruiser, because I've seen a lot of videos of it. Now, I never did my thoughts before the Star Cruiser came out. I just remember what my thoughts were before it came out was, it's expensive and I'm never going to be able to afford it. Or I would probably in the future, but just not right now. I'm a teenager in high school, I can't afford that. But I was this could be a unique experience, and I wasn't going to criticize it without knowing the experience itself. I mean, I thought this experience could be top-notch, one of the best Disney experiences of all time, and yes, it's an expensive price, but it's probably worth its expensive price. And clearly, by the videos that have been coming out and showing up, it is worth its expensive price. We are going unedited here to guys besides the music in the background. But it is definitely worth its expensive price, clearly, because they have been doing really, really well. I have seen some of the videos, and the actors and the cast members who are playing these characters are absolutely incredible and very talented, and it's basically a huge improv type of routine that they are doing, because they have to work with different types of guests all the time. There's probably certain things they say and scripts, but you have to think about it. You're working with a bunch of different guests all the time. It has to be very much like an improv routine. You have to put things out on the spot, and I respect that, because that is difficult. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the videos of it, it is absolutely beautiful. Seeing the lobby, seeing the rooms, I wish I could stay in that room right now. I want to experience this so bad, and even if I can't afford it, I'm going to live very curiously through the YouTubers who are doing it right now. I have been addicted to watching these videos. I haven't been addicted to Disney content in a while. A very, very long time. So watching these videos, it's just that's a lot to take in. And I'm so excited there's a lot to take in. Do you know how often there isn't a lot to take in these type of videos or these type of stuff? When we see a new openings, it's a lot to take in. But it's almost wow, and then the second time you're bleh. But I feel this, it's going to be every single video I've watched, it's been so different, it's been so unique. It's everyone has their own personal experience, and that's why I love this so much. You are the one who chooses your story, so that's why it makes it so unique. So because if I, for example, did it, you're not going to have the same story as me, or do the same thing as me. I don't know anything about Star Wars, but even as a person who's probably like watched like one Star Wars movie, wasn't even watching, and probably was on my computer and like doing something, this is sick. And I think this is the future of hotel entertainment and like the future of theme park hotels. I think Universal's going to try and do something very similar with like Harry Potter or something. This is the future of hotels, and this is the future of theme parks, and I think it's going to keep growing, you know. We've seen Disney with Rise of the Resistance, and now this. Star Wars is the perfect IP to work with, clearly, for Disney, so they're doing very, very well right now with this, and I'm very intrigued by it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can say about it, but I don't think there's much else I can say. I mean, I don't know enough about Star Wars to be like, yeah, I know what's happening. Because I clearly don't. But it's beautiful, and that's all I'm gonna say. Now, let's move on to the next thing. That was only 6 minutes of me talking about the new Star Wars hotel. Killing it! Not really. That is the least I have talked about. I'm gonna do, like, a makeshift top 5 right now. And, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, throw it out there. I have done, like, the theme park top 5s forever. But I haven't done Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom yet. I'm gonna do Hollywood Studios right here, right now. Let's get straight on into it. Number 5, Slinky Dog Dash. Slinky Dog Dash is a fun ride. Simple, plain out fun. And that's my favorite part about this ride. You know, Slinky Dog Dash is not the most intense roller coaster, by no means, but is the most themed roller coaster, I would say, as of right now in Disney. You know, it is themed to Toy Story, it is like a play set, it is sick. You know, the queue, nothing special, which is kind of why it kind of lowers it down on my list. Sad, unfortunately, but we're gonna, like, go over why this is so high. It's a fun family experience. You can go on with anyone. My sister, who is not a big fan of roller coasters, you know, doesn't like much of any roller coasters, loved this, and it has 2 launches. When I told her it had 2 launches, she was so scared, but I was like, don't worry, it's like a family friendly, like, anyone can ride this. Like, you see that kid? They're able to ride it. Oh my god, anyone can ride it. And I mean anyone. You know, my, you know, younger kids I went to the park with love the ride. They love the theming. They're like, oh my god, I'm on... Why am I forgetting? What is his name? Slinky... I'm gonna call him Slinky. I know that's not his name. If you know his name, comment down below, or like, I don't know, scream at me. But Slinky, everyone's like, the kids are like, oh my god, it's Slinky, I get to go on Slinky, I love Slinky. Maybe his name is Slinky, it's probably not. But Slinky, they're like, they have a great time with it. They see Jessie, they see Rex, they see Woody when they're going by. And then they love the little, like, this part that's like a wave of ocean that really hurts my stomach. Kind of brings down a point. But then you go through, you get your picture, and you see Wheezy at the end singing you a song. And that's just such a cool animatronic, first of all, but like a nice little serenade at the end. Not a lot of rides do that. But we're gonna move on to number 4, and you know what? I'm not gonna pause or like cut this right here because it is the same section of the park, same music, same everything. It is Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is a super fun ride. It is a competitive ride, and I love that, a competitive experience. You know, I love picking who I'm going to win against. Okay, I don't have the best history of winning, but I love being able to pick to go against my sister or anyone else, my dad, my mom, whoever. I love being able to pick who I can go against on this ride, and that's my favorite part of this ride, you know. It's the competitive experience. The queue is amazing. It's such a fun time. You know, when I go on with my dad, we want to find those Easter eggs as much as possible. We don't care about winning. We just want to find those Easter eggs. We've done majority of them. So, we're on the right track. And I'm so, just like, when I am in that queue line, I'm like, I am prepared. I am getting my hand ready. I am doing finger stretches because those hurt my fingers. It is just the competitive, fun experience everyone enjoys. Even Grandma will enjoy it. Everyone will enjoy the competitive aspect. It is not overly complicated. It's easy to understand. You aim and shoot. And that is my favorite part about that ride. It is easy, it is fun, it is competitive. I've said competitive so many times, but that is the main factor that makes this ride different. Now, moving on to number 3. Number 3, Rock and Roller Coaster. I love Rock and Roller Coaster, and it's the ride I look forward to go to on the most besides my number 1. But the reason why it's number 3 and not number 2 is because the theming is not the best. But it is the most thrilling experience in all of Disney World that you can't get anywhere else. You know, I am not playing Rock and Roller Coaster Aerosmith music in the background because I am not getting copyrighted. But I am just gonna say, it is such a fun experience. Like, you know, that launch gives me anxiety, and I've been on this ride so many times. So many times. It is crazy to think about. It is one of my favorite rides in all of Disney. You know, when I'm like pulling that down, I'm like, oh my god, we're about to go through this crazy ride. Oh my god. This was my first ever looping coaster. And I was so nervous. And then after, I was having like, wow, let's go again. And my dad was like, no, we aren't. No, we are not. I am done for the day. I am getting a drink. So, there's nothing special about the queue. Majority of the time you are waiting outside, which is unfortunate, because I feel they could have really worked on like that studio aspect of the queue, which they kind of do have parts, but majority of it isn't the best. I love the pre-show. The pre-show's so unique. You know, they use that screen to kind of like make it seem like they're in the recording booth and you're looking from an outsider. You're an outsider looking in, and you know, they get that super stretch. A super stretch limo. Favorite line in that pre-show. And then you go into the back alleyway, which is probably one of the most themed parts of the queue. You see that, you see the super stretch limo launch, and you're like, oh my god, am I about to get on this? I think I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. You made a great choice. You get on, it's too late now, you're already buckled in. You launch and you go through this crazy adventure, going past signs, going through all these different routes just to get to the concert. And by the time you get to the concert, at least I've noticed every single time, the concert's over. They're basically done singing. At least we made it to the red carpet. You know, I wasn't dressed appropriately, but we at least made it there. But overall, one of my favorite rides, one of my favorite places to get photos. I wish I had them on me, but I just got a new phone, so I don't have the photos installed anymore. But let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is Tower of Terror. And, you know, this barely edged out Rock and Roller Coaster because of its theming. Theming is such an important part of Disney for me. It is a theme park. That's what makes Disney different from all the other amusement parks around. There's that theming. And Tower of Terror has one of the best themings in all of Hollywood studios. I mean, I've already talked about how this is one of my favorite queues in all of Disney. That was in a previous top 5 on the podcast. If you haven't checked that one out, I don't remember which one it is. I believe it's the 2nd or 3rd episode of the podcast where I did a top 5 on favorite queues at all of Disney. Actually, multiple of these rides were on there. But, let's go straight on into it. You walked into this decrepit hotel. I love going on it at night, so we're gonna assume it's night. You walk into this decrepit hotel at night, the Hollywood Tower Hotel. You go through this abandoned area seeing with overgrown trees and everything, getting to closer and closer to the lobby. You see fountains that no longer have water and are broken and cracking. You get into the lobby, it is cobwebs, old-timey Hollywood music plays as you are slowly getting to the library. You get to the library and the pre-show plays, explaining everything that happened at the Hollywood Tower Hotel. Slowly yet surely, you decide, I'll continue. You slowly walk over. As you are in the boiler room, you slowly, I've said slowly so many times, you slowly get closer and closer to the maintenance service elevator that will take you on this wild adventure. As you strap yourself in, you get to one more wave as the cast member leads you off on your adventure. You go up and immediately see ghosts. Fun. You go up, immediately see ghosts, and then you go up higher. As you go through this area, you see an eyeball, a door, a window, the ghosts, as the maintenance service elevator itself seems to be moving. As you continue forward, as you go up and up and up the elevator all the way to the top. One smile and you start falling down. As you are falling down and down and down, back up again, down up again, randomized drops everywhere. You continue as the story ends, as you somehow survived the Twilight Zone. You go get your picture, you go to the gift shop, get your little bell, and then you leave the Tower of Terror, or the Hollywood Tower Hotel. First of all, wow. I love this ride so much. It is one of my favorite rides in all of Disney. It's actually on my Magic Band, that I don't have on me. But it's actually on my Magic Band, and it is just so much fun. And the reason it's on my Magic Band is because that tower is an icon to me. That tower has become the icon of the park to me. You know, when I think of Hollywood Studios, I think the Hollywood Tower Hotel. I think of the fun experiences I've had, my family members getting scared on it, my friends getting scared on it, almost had my arms ripped off by Disney from Disney Stranger. I've had so many great experiences on this ride, and that is just because it is such a fun ride. You know, it's not for everyone. My sister Mackenzie can't go on it, and like maybe my mom can't go on it, and not a lot of people can go on it. But besides that, it is such a fun ride, and the theming really just elevates this ride. It's not your normal drop tower. It legit moves in the middle of the experience. The elevator seems to be moving, and you know, not a lot of drop towers have that type of experience. It's not a free-for-all ride as it forces you down. It is something different and unique from this type of ride. And that is why it is one of my favorite rides in all of Hollywood Studios. Now, let's move on to number 1. And number 1, again at the top of the list, is Rise of the Resistance. It had won the best queue in all of Disney, in my personal opinion, and it has won again in Best Ride of Hollywood Studios. If I had to do a list of all these rides together, which I probably will, this will be at the top. And I guess a spoiler warning, well, I should have said that before I said that, but who cares? This is one of the best rides in all of Disney World. I am not joking with you. If you've never been on this ride, it is worth the wait. It is the reason why it has such a long wait. It is the best ride in all of Disney. It is legit everything. When I say I got no spoilers on this ride, thank God I didn't have spoilers. Because that made the unique experience more unique. I don't know what I was saying. That made the experience so unique. I had no clue what it was going into for. I knew this was going to be a great ride, but I didn't expect it to be that good. You know, I wouldn't call it even a ride. It's an experience. So, something different about this experience, I guess, is the theming. One of the best theming in any Disney ride in general. You know, the queue is impeccable. You start off in the caves, then you go into the pre-show, then you go into the ship. That feels like an elevator, but I don't know if it's an elevator. What is it? No one knows. Then you go see the stormtroopers. You're now in the Resistance. Is it the Resistance? I don't know. Rebellion? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out one day. You go into their ship. You are captured. You are now jailed. Yes, unfortunately, you were jailed. You get put into a holding cell. But luckily, the Resistance, I believe it's the Resistance, comes bailing you out, saving you, as you go into these prison transports that are going to help you get out. As you go through these prison transports, you go through a crazy journey. You see these huge, giant AT-ATs, I believe. You go through that, you see stormtroopers shooting at you, causing little damages in the exterior of the ride. You see Darth Vader, I believe. Probably mistaken. Don't trust me. I've never seen a Star Wars movie. Darth Maul, Darth Vader, the guy who has the red one that has like the weird, like, it's basically kind of like a T. Anyways, you see him. You go into an elevator. He puts his lightsaber at the top of the elevator. Sick, first of all. That's cool. I never expected that. You go through. Looks like you're about to crash into another prison transport, but you don't. You move out of the way very quickly. And then you see the guy himself. You go through. And you see the guy. You see Darth Maul or Darth Vader or whatever his name is. The ship gets blown up. He flies away. Ooh. If anyone's watching the YouTube, I just made a weird motion with my body. Then you go into another, an escape pod, which, spoiler, it drops and it goes. And that is so cool. I did not expect that. I did not know that at all. I had known nothing at all. I didn't even watch the Imagineering story because I didn't want a spoiler, because my brother told me it would spoil it. It was worth getting up at 6 a.m. to ride. On Christmas Day, first of all, or the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve, it was something. It was amazing, and I will never, ever, ever get that same type of feeling on a ride again. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, because I know nothing about it. Why the hell is Chewbacca? I mean, why the heck is Chewbacca here? Frick, I'm gonna have to censor that out. Anyways. Chewbacca agrees. It is the best ride in all of Disney, and it deserves to be the top of the best rides in Hollywood studios, without a doubt. And let's move on to the next segment, or the outro, whatever it will be. And we are going to move on to the outro, guys. I'm so sorry for the abrupt ending, but let's have a bit of a conversation before we end this video. First of all, I hope you all are having a great day. How are you doing? You know, during these times, our mental health is really important, and I would know that for a fact. You know, what's been getting me through a bunch of my mental health struggles is Disney and this channel. So thank you. School's a lot. So it's kind of been hard to kind of pick, should I focus on school or this? And unfortunately, I had to pick school because I know this will determine my future. Doesn't mean I don't miss you guys. I've wanted to film videos, I just haven't had time at all. So it's unfortunate. But I do plan on filming more. Spring break's coming soon. That's in April. I plan on going to Disney and Florida for that. So I should be back in Disney soon in April. So expect vlogs with Kenzie. I also plan on doing a podcast episode with Kenzie. I need to do it before she leaves though. So I'm going to have to talk to her about that. Or we can do that in April. Who knows? We'll figure that out soon enough. But I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing way better. I'm happy, and that's nice. I was so just burnt out of school and everything. I was just completely burnt out. I'm happy. I'm doing great. I hope that I get to see my friends in a bit. I hope I get to talk to my friends because I haven't talked to them in a while. I need to watch more Disney YouTubers because I've been kind of out of the realm recently, and that's kind of been tough. But I plan on doing so much more than I do right now because it's really just been hard for me. But I hope to get in the community more. I hope to watch more channels. I hope to be more happy. I just hope to do everything. But I hope you all have a magical day, and don't forget to keep imagining.